What up? What up? Thanks for coming back. It is June 8th. We are bringing you fantasy football news. We got a lot of peeps to talk about. We're going to be talking about Darius Leonard. We're talking DK Metcalf, Russell Wilson, talking about the Denver Broncos and Aaron Donald. And a news show is not going to be complete without talking about Deshaun Watson.
Let's bring them the news. Run that in.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot. Get your life together.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side.
What up? What up? 420 Fantasy Hustler back at you. We are bringing you fantasy news today. What's going on, peeps?
Hey, I'm Bogard Schwarzenegger. Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah. And let's shout out everyone in the chat real quick because you already know we got to shout out our peeps. Ron in the building. What up, bro?
Hey, Ronald.
Antonio. What up, bro?
Hey, Antonio.
And Hess starting it off strong with the smoking. And he said, anybody got the name of a good massage therapist? Hold on.
I know a guy. But you know what I mean? He's in a lot of trouble right now.
Antonio said, I can ask Deshaun Watson. He's probably got some. I think he's cut off from all those massage therapists now. I don't think he's fucking with them anymore. We're going to talk about him a little bit later in the show. We're not going to start it off with that. And Mike, what up, bro? He said, receive the bat signal. Time for the news. Hell yeah, we're doing it a little bit early today because Bogard's got a graduation to go to later. Congrats.
Oh, yeah. I'm proud. One of my babies is graduating on to high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got all the guns already.
I know.
I know it's probably a bad thing to say when I went from talking about school, then I have all the guns. I'm talking about having daughters.
I think every man with daughter, I don't even have a daughter, but I knew exactly what you meant.
Yes.
And has a ton of news today. Saddle up. We got a long list of a whole bunch of news. And Albert in the building said, good morning, everybody.
Top of the morning, Albert.
Raiders for life. What up, Timmy? What's going down, bro?
Timmy.
And Peacock said, yo, what's good, fellas? And he says, I have 2 daughters. So, and Peacock lives in Texas. Don't be fucking
Peacock's from Texas. I was about to say.
Don't be fucking around with any of Peacock's daughters. You better be nice and respectable. All right. And here we go. Lee, this is the one thing that I wanted to start it off with. So good job. He said, now that Walmart bought the Broncos, will they roll back the ticket prices? They should. So for those who don't know, the Walmart heir, Rob Walton, reached an agreement with the Denver Broncos. And what was the actual number? $4.65 bill is what he purchased the team for. Franchise record. Sport franchise record for buying a franchise.
Broncos country, let's ride. Hold on, let me get that better. Broncos country, let's ride. Hold on, let me do it with some more conviction. Broncos country, let's ride. All right, hold on.
No, it's got to be do it like Kevin Hart. Do it like Kevin Hart.
I was gonna do it like a vato first, but
all right, go ahead. Let's hear it.
Orale vato, let's ride. Charlie way, Broncos country.
And yeah, I just remembered that Kevin Hart stand up where he's talking about how they went out and riding on the horses and shit and that crazy thing. And he was like, that guy, the guy who was giving us all these directions, all these directions you couldn't understand. He was like, okay. Let's ride. All right. Well, you know, Bogey's got a bunch of stuff going on today with the graduation. So probably some fam hitting him up. Let's get to we're gonna save the most enticing stuff towards the end. We'll get rid of some of the BS stuff. How about Darius Leonard undergoing surgery for his back issues? And this is something that supposedly happened in the offseason. He's going to miss a portion of training camp, but he's not expected to miss like any part of the season or anything. But, just keep that in mind. Like now with this Darius Leonard news, if you're in a dynasty startup, or anything like that, you might be able to get him a little bit later just because of, this news here. So nothing too crazy there. If you're on rookie watch, if you're still doing your rookie drafts, things like that, the Rams' 5th round running back Kyren Williams underwent a surgery to repair a broken foot that he suffered last week. So he's expected to return at the early part of training camp. But I didn't really expect a 5th rounder to come in and steal anything from Cam Akers, steal anything from Darrell Henderson or anything like that. But just for anyone who's drafting in the rookie draft, like Kyren might not even get drafted anymore. He might be someone that you actually get to, to draft as a free agent. And has said, I wish they were more specific about the back surgery. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. It doesn't seem like they are. Like literally everything, that they're saying is it's minor. He's not going to miss any of the season. He may only miss a part of training camp. He actually might be there in the beginning. Talking about Darius Leonard, with the back surgery.
Oh, you're talking about my man with the back? He got the back surgery?
Yep. And so he's he might miss a little bit of training camp, but he's not expected to miss any of the season or anything.
They say that now, but watch me flip Bobby Okereke for the world.
He's a beast whether Leonard's playing or not.
Them Hustlees, if you got Bobby Okereke, I'm selling high right now. You know what I mean? I'm going straight to the Leonard owner too.
It's gotta be. It's got to be something real high because Okereke just on his own, dude's a beast. Whether Leonard's playing or not, he showed last year that
80-some
Leonard's on the field or not.
80 solos is a lot.
Hell yeah.
He had like 100. He had over 100 all-purpose tackles. You know what I mean?
Yep. All right. How about Aaron Donald just getting the big ass bag? And it's crazy because everybody is like, how are the Rams doing all this stuff? And it's funny because 100% of these NFL teams have the exact same amount of money that they can use on people. Are we saying that the Rams just have smarter GMs? They could work the cap a little bit better. But
Hollywood magic. The Hollywood Rams always figure it out. They're going to pay Cooper Kupp next watch. They're going to figure it out.
Yeah, got to.
Yeah.
So Aaron Donald, revised the contract that gives him a $40 million raise through 2024. What is it? The rework deal gives him $65 million guaranteed over the next 2 seasons. And so it allows him to retire or return in 2024 for an additional $30 million.
Yeah, so the way they got it constructed is those last 2 years avoidable. It's really just about the guaranteed money. And it's the Rams saving their ass just in case he does decide to retire on them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that way they don't get hit on the cap right there.
Yep. Because he's 31 now. So this extends out, through 2024. 3 years, on. So it's the last year that's voidable.
It's similar to the Trent Williams deal. The Niners, we had a veteran, tackle, the best in the game, really. You know what I'm saying? And we had to extend him, but he also wanted to be the highest paid.
Yeah.
So it was like 2 contracts in one. You know what I mean? Because we'll get to 2023, and if he still decides to play, there's a 2 year, another 2 years after that, which is basically a new contract, and the money's a little different. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like these teams are having these built-in voidable years, but also built-in extension, so to speak. Like in this case, if he gets past 2024, there's a little built-in extension right there for the 30 M's, and that's probably workable as well. You know what I mean?
And see, it's not just it's only the Rams that have people that are this smart, handling the way that they're doing their contract negotiations and stuff. I don't believe that. And Hess said Rams are teaching how to take care of their people. It was the Chiefs first, because the Chiefs, They had no money, but somehow they extend Tyreek Hill, they extend Kelsey, you know, and all that. Teams can do this if they really wanted to. Like we think about the, you know, the Steelers and how they never wanted to pay. They didn't want to pay Le'Veon Bell, which they were right about, you know. Didn't want to pay Antonio Brown. They probably would have got a couple more good years, you know, out of him. But teams can pay their guys if they want to.
Over there, they home grow everything as much as possible.
Right.
I mean, actually, all the way, they homegrown everything.
Yeah, they rarely get free agents.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? Like, what's the last free agent receiver you could think about that went to the Steelers? I know. It was Dante Moncrief. Legend. You know what I mean? Just to my point, they draft their guys, and then when it's time,
they're good. They don't. I'm not saying they never miss on their wide receivers, but they've hit on so many non-first and second round wide receivers that it's crazy.
I mean, remember, like, there's, you know, like the Sammy Coates and the Eli Rogers. These are all misses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, they have some misses. Like, whoever be drafting, like Cameron Austin or whatever. What was the guy, Calvin Austin? Like, that guy's probably not going to be anything for fantasy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, this, you know, he's probably like a Ray McLeod like replacement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, but you know, people will jump out the window for shit like this because it's all Steelers. You know, it's really where they draft him at the Capitol too. Like, Kenny Pickett should be a guy. He has the pedigree coming out of college, and he's the third. He has the draft capital. You know what I mean? And then the Steelers historically hit. Boom, this, you know, that's the guy I would like to have. Maybe not this year, technically. Maybe I'll pick him up on waiver or something in redrafts. But, you know, in dynasties, like, that's one of my, you know, outside of that top 6, that's one of those guys because of the Steelers' history. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Raiders for Life, Timmy, he said, how you feeling about Josh Jacobs not showing up for OTAs? So
they didn't pick up his 5th-year option. And
they said he has an undisclosed injury as well.
Yeah,
like,
always.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's all we know as of right now. I mean, this is the second week.
Here's how I feel about it. I don't feel bad about the running game role in Josh McDaniels' offense, especially for fantasy, right? Yeah. I'm not worried about them. They're going to run the ball a ton. That's just what McDaniels is going to like to do. You know what I mean? And they have all these weapons that's gonna open up all those lanes for the run game. Because when you have Adams and Waller and shit like that, you can't stack the box, right? But it's a new system, and it's one of the more difficult. It's like intricate as fuck, apparently. So if you're not OTs, that's bad for Jacobs. But it's also okay because Jacobs, you don't want him to get hurt. He's already hurt right now. Like, just preserve him because he's actually a good value this year in redraft. Like, you could probably pencil him in for double-digit tugs again.
And he's being drafted after RB20. Like, that's how far down you're able to get him. So it's a crazy value you're able to get.
Real talk.
This is just probably going to make his value even better as we move on because people may be tripping on this, you know, and if I can get Josh Jacobs in, you know, 6th, 7th round, something like that, like, I mean, I'm pulling it.
He said OTAs, right? Because I know some teams, the mandatory mini camps are starting for some teams.
Right. It was the OTAs. It's not the mandatory mini camp for Jacobs.
Because when it's that Mando mini camp thing, you know, you're gonna have to pay money.
Yeah,
to miss those things, and like
that's different.
Look at
Well, we got 2 people on the news that we got to talk about for the mandatory mini camps. One of them is Debo. He's going to be there at the start of mini camp, and he's taking his trade. It wasn't even a trade request. I mean, it was almost a trade demand. But now that's out the window. He's not going to talk about that anymore.
That's just crazy. It sucks that this kid didn't get paid, and like he has the same agent as AJ Brown, and like when they both put out the moms put out the video. Remember that Debo's moms?
Yep.
She put out the video, and it's just on the baby, but like in the background you can hear Debo talking to AJ Brown, and then she even clarifies, "Who's that, baby?" "Oh, it's AJ Brown." "Oh, you got drafted with him, didn't you?" "Yup." And then like you can hear AJ Brown, "Man, they said they don't want to give me nothing more than 19. And he's like, "Damn, blood." and then he says, "Man, they ain't even trying to talk to me." And that still stands true for Debo. They're like, "Listen, man."
It's all Jimmy G's fault, and I mean, it's not his fault, but he got hurt, and
and it corrupted the whole everything. And you look at Jimmy's shoulder injury sends shockwaves to Lance also too. Like and now you can't. It's always a conversation for a young kid to have to block out. You know what I mean? There's a conversation in all social media outlets, all talk radios and whatnot, podcasts. That a motherfucker, Jimmy might still be the starter. Well,
Jimmy is the starter. I don't care what anybody says. If he is on the team, week 1, he is getting paid way too much. Not to be the starter.
Take a chance on Lance. God damn it. I said it. Well, I called it. We were going to draft him. We did that. I even said we'll trade up for that motherfucker. I didn't know we'll go all the way up to 3, but we still did it nonetheless. And he's going to be the starter this year. Just like last year, I said he should sit. This is the year. Let's go.
And Timmy Raiders for Life said that man is always injured, which sucks. He's a baller out there. Out his first year, might be a little upset because we picked Zamir White and drafted another RB. I mean, it's when you're drafting these RBs late, I wouldn't be worried about it. You go out and spend first or second round capital.
2019 is Josh Jacobs, right? So 19, 20, 21. In 3 seasons, he's never played. I mean, has he played a full season?
I don't think so.
Because he's always beat up. But here's the thing. It goes back to how stupid Gruden is. Yeah. Because he drafted Josh Jacobs to be a load carrier. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he split time with Damien Harris. You know what I'm saying? He split time with Damien Harris in college. And you know what I'm saying? They didn't have no full workload. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, coming around by year 3, we know what it is with Josh Jacobs. And now you have a new regime, and they're like, listen, we're going to draft these other guys because we're not picking up your 5th-year option because they stupidly drafted you in the 1st round. You know what I mean?
Even then, I know Zamir's white nickname is Zeus, but you draft him at 4th round, 122 overall. There's 0 draft capital, there. These 4th rounders could get cut before the season even starts.
Why I like Josh Jacobs this year in redraft, which is crazy because on this program, you know what I'm saying, as Pittsburgh people would say, we don't have any love for Josh Jacobs, really. But now, new system, you know what I mean? And he's going to run him into the dirt. They have no quarrels with using him all the way up.
And for redraft, you love that.
Yeah, they're going to run his ass into the desert.
Like Dynasty, you might not love that so much for but the value where you're getting him at, you really can't hate on it. For redraft, this dude is going to get so much volume, and he's going to be picked up so late that I don't want to wish anything into existence. But if he
stays healthy,
he's got to stay healthy. And if he's healthy at the right times, if he's healthy at the beginning of the season and the end of the season, I think it'll be okay.
With Josh McDaniels with Tom Brady, him. And then it was always Tom Brady and Phillip Rivers. They are always at the top of the league at throwing the ball at the running back on 1st and 2nd downs. That's not going to change. You know what I mean? What is Derek Carr's game? The quick outs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just what not that he can't stretch the field, but I'm saying though, so he's going to get a bunch of greasy receptions. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Look at Damien Harris. Damien Harris had last year, what do you have? Like 20 something, 24, or he had like 18 receptions.
Probably around that. I think he got close to 20.
Stevenson had like 20 something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and Josh Jacobs last year, what do you have? 50 balls?
I'm gonna go check on that.
Yeah, fact check me on this because it's like I'm just saying, like, this is a guy that can finish easily in the top 20, like a high end RB2. You know
yeah, 15, 54 receptions.
54 greasy receptions because that's Carr. They don't have Josh Jacobs running a route out there. That's Carr just get the pressure's coming, boom, to the running back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Titans for life in the building, making his triumphant return. What up, bro?
What up? Well, that's Steven. Steven.
Yeah.
That's Boomhauer. What up?
Yeah, like you think about that. I mean, who knows what kind of role any other running back plays in this system? Like Josh Jacobs can easily go for another 50 receptions. He had 348 yards through the air and then 872 on the ground. And his attempts were like the lowest that it's been in I mean, shit, since he started.
Because they had to share a load with him. See, look at
hold on, but Jen, let me finish. But his receptions were like double everything else.
There it is.
So the attempts goes down a tick, but the receptions fucking doubled.
I think with the addition of Adams and all that shit, like I think Carr really got to be timid for Josh Jacobs' numbers to like reach 50 again. I think he's good for like 30 plus receptions. I'd say 30 to like 35 receptions. You know what I mean?
Well, who else is going to take the receptions from him though?
I think Kenya Drake is still a thing because I think he will assume the hurry up offense role. You know what I mean? 2 minute drills. You know what I mean? Shit like that because he could pass pro. He could pass pro. He could pass catch.
I know it's a new regime, but last year, Kenyon Drake, 63 attempts, 254 yards, 30 receptions, 291, 3 combined touchdowns.
30 receptions is what I'm seeing though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the old
rate. That's 80, but that's what I'm saying. Like him plus Josh Jacobs, that's 80 receptions.
It's very doable. Look at Tom Brady's numbers with Josh McDaniels and throwing at the running backs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
Steven said, glad you finally got a mic stand, Bogard.
I ain't got no mic stand, bro. I'm on the phone. You know what I mean? Listen, I don't got the laptop right now, but the laptop's in the other studio.
Yeah,
I still got my mic, man.
So I mean that's all I'm saying is
hold on. He said he was glad I got one. There's 2 ways you can look at that. Like he probably would watch me and be like, "What if Bogard can afford a mic stand?" Yes, sir, I can afford one. But on the flip side, he probably could have been watching this whole time since last year. Like, man, it really annoys me how Bogard just holds the mic, doesn't have a mic stand. And I think it's the latter.
Yep. Oh yeah, and I guess I forgot about this part. Timmy said Drake also got injured early in the year. Yeah, yep. For sure. Yep. Mm-hmm. That made Jacob.
That's the thing though. I think it was a torn ACL. So that is like, he still has to come back from that. You know what I mean? And like, but they don't have they don't have Jalen the Rocket Richard.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Jalen Richard's gone, and Carr loved him, and they've been together since 16. You know what I mean? They've been together until last year.
Broken ankle is what Drake
suffered.
Okay,
then he'd be all right. You know what sucks is that it's always been his ankles though in his career.
He played 12 games too, so I mean, still, played almost 2/3 of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a little. He was frustrating for fantasy as fuck. I mean, you know what I mean?
Because we really thought that he was going to be like the Cardinals Drake, and he was like nothing.
Because the Cardinals Drake. This is why Cliff Kingsbury's funny. He took Drake not being like, a 220-pound back or 215 at least, and they ran him like one. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why James Conner fits so well, because that's what they really want to do, especially when they get down there. They want a power run.
Well, that's the thing about Drake, though. That's super weird because he's not a big ass bruising back, but he runs way better in between the tackles than outside.
I mean, but see, that's the thing is like that's how he was being used. You know what I mean? Then once he like last year, when people were when the Raiders using him in the passing game, we're like, there you go, because he got mad burners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like getting him in the open space.
It was Cliff Kingsbury, who I've been talking shit about his play calling forever. Because some of those play calls, especially when Drake, was the guy, it's just like stupid. They're trying to run him to the outside. There's no wiggle, going in the blocking in front of him. And he just tackles 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Like, what the hell?
It's like they're trying to zone run without the zone blocking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a zone run, but they forgot about the zone blocking scheme.
Mm-hmm. The blocking's power run.
And Steven said it'd always be looking like he's trying to imitate Mariah Carey.
Hey man, I'm glad to have him back.
The sweet, sweet fantasy baby. Like if that's the line that he's saying.
Hey, I told you that we got to get that drop.
We got to get the drop.
I am fantasy Mariah Carey.
All right. So we talked about Debo, how he's going to the mini camp. He ain't going to be missing any of his money, especially without the bag. Like Debo, he's going to make sure he gets his money and doesn't miss a beat in that offense. But let's flip it over to someone else in the NFC West. DK Metcalf. He did not report for the mandatory minicamp, and he's one of those guys. I mean, same agent, right, as AJ Brown and Tebow. And so he's 24. This is the final year of his 4-year contract. So his 4-year contract is $4.59 million. Okay, that's his entire 4-year contract. I think he's well overplayed that contract. His base salary this year is almost $4 million, just a tick under.
What did he do? He did like 900 his first season, right?
Let me pull it up so I can give you.
Yeah, let's see how well he did for a second round. He definitely was great for a second rounder. No one should ever pull him up in the first, right? It was really his athleticism and his combine fucking that blew everybody out the water. You know what I mean?
Well, we start talking about like, dynasty and, just that the 2019 season. He had 58 receptions, 900 yards, 7 TDs. But he had that crazy stretch in the second half of the season where he was destroying it. And then he does back it up in 2020, 83 receptions, 1303, 10 TDs. Wow. So he hits the double digit.
Okay, there you go. So he balled out in the sophomore slump my ass, right? He took a step forward. That was the Russ Cook year, 2020.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we got in 2021. So I mean, not a huge regression receptions wise. I mean, 75 compared to 83 the year before, 967, yardage compared to 1300.
Russ got hurt though.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, people don't care. They're just looking at your numbers, But Russ getting hurt definitely fucked him up.
And you know what? I fuck with DK. For one, if you made it to your chip with DK, he put up like a hundo and 3 tugs for you.
I won a championship with DK because I literally had nobody else that I could play.
Let's fucking go.
Please, just be that dude. And he was for that game. But let's see, because I know he had multiple TV games. I'm going to look here. So 1, 2. Most of his TDs were scored in 3 games. That's the thing that's kind of tough because he had a double-digit touchdown games versus the Rams, double-digit touchdown game versus the Jags, and then the triple touchdown game against Detroit.
You know what it is though, too, is when he was in the games that he plays with Russ is gonna always. This is what I hate about Russ. He's always gonna find the right read.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're open, boom, got you. Boom, Gerald Everett, touchdown. Like, you know what I mean? You know how many times that happened this year? It was like...
So I just gave you like how many games he had double digits. I want you to guess. How many games did he not score a touchdown in?
14.
That's way too high. It was 8.
Wait, who am I talking about?
DK.
Oh, and his whole career?
No, just this past season.
Oh, word. Dang, he balled out.
No, half the games he did not score a touchdown is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. So I thought he scored them all in 3 games. That's why.
No. Well, most
as
of them
legend has it.
So 7 out of his 12 were scored in 3 games. But you know why everyone is really off of DK? I'll tell you right now. Hold on, let me just double check these numbers.
Because Drew Lock for a pick.
Well, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about DK. Last year, man, everybody was everybody went a little bit higher. Ron said 10, Antonio said 11, so it was 8 games that he did not score a touchdown. Now,
so half the time he's scoring, that's dope.
Well, I mean, yeah. When you think about it that way, 9 games. What was it? Is it 9?
I've never wanted Geno Smith to start so bad.
So let me see. Did he miss one game?
Because at least Geno Smith will pepper that motherfucker. Because that's what he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just peppers them.
Yep. All right. Now I got another one for you though. Because here's the reason why everyone's so down on DK. Because if you're not getting the touchdowns, if you're getting the yards, you're probably okay with it. How many 100-yard games did DK have in 2021?
Give me 3 for the win. Urgh.
All right, take a guess, guys. Everyone in the comments. How many?
I just be
100
shitting on him. I should have looked at his numbers before because I knew we were going to talk about DK.
Take a guess, everyone. Take a guess. How many 100-yard games did DK have? Antonio said 4. Also a buzz. And we'll
Give me 6.
You guys are way off. You're way off.
No.
You're heading in the wrong direction.
2.
Still headed in the wrong direction. 1 100-yard game. That is it. Anthony was the closest with 0. Right off.
Okay, give it to Anthony.
There was only 1 100-yard game that he had in the entire 2021 season.
That's crazy, bro.
I'm gonna go check his game logs for 2020 or for 2020. And that's the big difference to me, just when I'm looking at his stats. Yeah, let me see here. So
that's motherfucking insane.
okay, now let's do it. Steven was close to with 2 also. All right, let's go back to 2020. How many 100-yard games in 2020 did DK Metcalf have in his 1,300-yard season?
Give me 9.
Nope.
Urgh. I'll let chat get in there before I start just yelling all the numbers until I get it by process of elimination. Took it all the way down to 1. I went the wrong direction. I was close at 3 already. I should have went the other way.
All right. So how many games? And okay, so Anthony put in 8. Close, but no cigar. And Antonio said, "Damn, I figured the games he had 2 or 3 TDs, he would have at least got 100." In both of those, in every multi-TD game, he had under 100. It was the game versus Minnesota in week.
Oh yeah, it was a Sunday night or a Monday night.
Yeah, I can't even remember, but yeah, it was week 3. He had 107 yards in a tug.
And like 40 yards in that tug came in that last drive where Russ was just cooking.
Yeah. So literally one catch could have taken that 100-yard game away. All right. Well, no other numbers are coming in. All right. So what did you say? You said 9. That was a big buzz.
Give me 5.
There we go. It's
So
5.
he
Now
was
for
more-
bonus points, how many of those 5 games did he go over 150?
None.
It was 2. 2 of those games he went over 150. So
nice.
That's what we're talking about right there. Like, we remember those huge ass games out of him. You got none of them this year. I mean, the 3 touchdown game was great. Most people who had DK did not make it to the championship. This is what it is.
Hey, DK be like,
boom, Antonio got it.
Nice.
So that's where all the DK hate is coming from, is on a per game basis. I mean, last year he was just not that dude. A lot of it was Russ, but still.
Hey, you want to know what that is, bro? That's like new Julio. That's how Julio was. But Julio, his average would be like 70 yards a game. Then every so often he'll have the big 140, 160, or 200-yard game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more than likely 200.
He would have like 2 or 3 of those 200-yard games. So at the end of the season, you're like, damn, he has 1,600 yards. But, 600 of them came from 3 games. You know what I mean?
Like Amari Cooper. That's another perfect example.
Oh, yeah, man. He did that 2 years in a row with Derek Carr.
He would be
a 1,000-yard receiver, but it's like, where's it coming from?
He's going for 200 or he's going for like 50?
40. Like 40.
Like no in between.
The pooper scooper. That's why he was always the scooper to me.
Yeah.
And then like I remember he got thrown into a package deal. And then he gets traded to the Cowboys, and I was like, oh shit, hell yeah. So that was the one time I ever had the scooper.
Yeah.
Because then even I didn't return back to the well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That. But I do remember that year I had Michael Gallup, then I got the scooper, and he was kind of shitting for a sec there. You know what I mean? He was shitting on him. that first six games with Dak.
Yep.
Yeah, because then Dak got hurt at the end of that year, and everyone was hurt. And it was just
everything went to shit.
It was the pooper scooper and everybody. He just came and poopered on all of them.
Yep. And Ron said it was Russ. I mean, it was. I mean, he got hurt. His finger was all jacked up. But at the end of the day, DK's only got his numbers to go off of when his agent.
But also, too, look at Russ's pass attempts every year.
Yeah.
Only in 2020, he had a career high at 558. That's, you know what I'm saying? He's very efficient.
Coincidence that's the DK, you know, big boom year? Like, he just threw it the most.
Yeah.
DK was eating.
and you know what, too? Because that was when the Legion of Boom was no longer.
Right.
It was really just Bobby Wagner left.
They had to throw.
Yeah, like they were just giving up fucking booty.
Ooh, here's a good question. And okay, so Albert says, would you rather have DK or Higgins in Dynasty?
Higgins.
Higgins for sure. If you guys did not see
right now, if you're asking me right now, because like, you know what's, I think DK is gonna wait he has to thug it out this year and play well in order to get a bigger bag. But say he doesn't play well this year, or because it's not even his fault, it's quarterback play. He's gonna end up with a contender. They're gonna give him like some kind of prove it deal. You know what I mean? Like he's just gonna go down that route. Like
if you didn't watch our episode. If you didn't watch our episode of fantasy football players to curve or not to curve, I put it in the chat. That was one of the big questions. It was DK and Higgins. There was a couple other people in that mix, but that would be really good if you're trying to decide between a few people when you're on the clock. We have a lot of us giving a lot of different thoughts on why.
Yeah, that shit was dope. I'm on the shrooms. I'm on the shrooms pretty mellow on that one.
Yeah, that was a good one for sure. All right. And since we got the little segue into Russ, why don't we talk about Russ, how right now his agent is seeking. You ready for this? They want a 5-year, $312 million guaranteed contract. This is coming from Adam Schefter. So you know
if Kirk Cousins can do it, by golly, I could do it. That's what Russell Wilson said, because that's how Russell Wilson really talks. He says things like G Willikers and by golly.
Well, and especially now, is it a coincidence that the Broncos sell, you know, for $4.6 billion?
No coincidence.
You want that?
Hey, listen.
You got that paper? Paper.
Even if he wanted to be a good Boy Scout and like take orders, like how that you seen that clip where he was doing the let's ride?
Yep.
Yeah, like, you know, there's just a broad like control. Okay, do it again. Okay, do it like this. Let's ride. Oh, let's ride. Like, you know what I mean? She's like directing him the same way Sierra was like, "Did you see this? The Broncos just sold." Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know what? Just give me your agent's number. You know what? She probably got on his phone and texted it. Yep. Hey, this is Russ. Let's ride. Right?
Especially now with the ownership regime, we're talking about the best QB that they've had. I mean, I'm going to say the best QB they've had since Peyton Manning, but if Peyton Manning wasn't on those PEDs, I mean, he showed he was a shell of himself when he couldn't take those PEDs.
Hey, hold on. Don't disrespect the sheriff.
Hey, what was he not a shell of himself? Yeah. He won the Super Bowl.
Because they started testing for the HGH in 2015.
And
And listen, he fell all the way apart. HGH doesn't just keep you, you know, it's basically steroids with no side effects, but it like enhances everything, you know, vision, strength, all the shit, bro. The motherfucker was he broke all the records coming off the neck surgery.
Yep.
At least, and mind you, this is the big Bogard conspiracy. You know,
it's not a conspiracy. Like, I mean, you go off he had like 4 or 5 neck surgeries. Like,
and
that
he comes back. And he fucking breaks all the records. And he goes to 2 Super Bowls. Mind you, the year that he went to the second one, the motherfuckers was testing, and then he tore his plantar fascia. You know what I mean? Remember the Brock Lobster had to go in there.
Yeah.
The Brock Lobster, he played by 5, 6 games.
Something like that.
Then he comes back, and it's Gary Kubiak's system. So they really just running the ball and everything's off the play action. You know what I mean? And a lot of tight end looks in the red zone. So it was just like all of a sudden Owen Daniels, remember him?
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's scoring a couple tugs over here because that's all Peyton Manning could do at this point.
Yeah.
He couldn't chuck it down the field.
Antonio said I had Demarius Thomas that year. I love that guy. I mean, shit, that was such like if you had Demarius Thomas on like a Peyton Manning stack like that year, like whoo.
2012, 2013, and 14. Didn't we go down this rabbit hole one time?
Yeah.
I think he balled he hit the bricks. I mean, he hit the brick wall in 2015.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because I mean it was
Day and Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
Heir to the KFC empire. Manny Sanders.
And that's what's crazy too, because Peyton Manning didn't go for, 55 touchdowns or whatever, when they had Demarius Thomas and Manny Sanders. But shit, they were like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin before them. Like they finished as number 1 and 3 wide receivers that year under the sheriff. Like it was nuts. You had either one of them. You were kidding.
And Jules, right, at the tight end.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Julius Thomas.
Hell yeah. I remember one of the guys that I know who had bootstraps on the ground in Denver. He was like, watch out for this Julius Thomas boy. Like, let me tell you.
I fucking love it when people do that. Because you just so happen to be there and the universe told you through this person.
Yeah.
Like that. Hey, I remember Darren Waller. I did that in 2019. I was like, everywhere I'm going to have Mark Andrews because I was doing the Bogard thing. I'm like, all right, Greg Roman, he's taking over as the OC. Tight ends just eat. Mark Andrews already flashed. He's going to be the guy. And he was. But then one of my mans, he went to one of them training camps for the Raiders and out in like Napa because they do their shit in Napa. So it's a little ways, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he was like, bro, I'm telling you, bro, Darren Waller, bro. And he don't even play fantasy. And he was like, listen, bro, just get him everywhere, bro. I'm like, ain't nobody is ever talking about him neither. People were talking about like the Coughlin kid.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Yep.
You're never talking about no
I remember
Waller.
getting Darren Waller as a free agent before the season started in almost every league that I drafted, like, because he still wasn't even drafted in a lot of these leagues. Nobody knew who the hell he was.
And then that Coughlin kid, I don't even think he made the final cut. You know what I mean? And it was just insane. Like, just right from the gate, Waller was going crazy. You know what I mean? I'll give it up to Gruden for that one. Because Gruden, apparently he was like, they were doing like a joint practice.
Yep.
With the Ravens.
Yep.
And he saw that, man.
Waller was on the practice squad.
Yeah,
he wasn't on the active roster.
Yeah. And he went up to him and said, hey, yo, I'm about to sign you right now.
Yep. Because that's what's still kind of crazy, how you can sign anyone off of anybody's practice squad.
Well, that's why Jerry Jones in 2020, right? The COVID shit was crazy. So now they're letting hella people have more players at the practice, practice squads. So the training camp was crazy, right? And Jerry made nobody have names on their jerseys.
Oh.
So if anybody was watching or anything, they'd be like, let's go get that kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they wanted to try to keep it. That was kind of smart, kind of diabolical. I dig that.
Yeah.
You know and I'm tired of that Belichick plucking my practice squad guys.
Yeah, motherfucker. And Hess said, should we be concerned about the news about Burks dealing with asthma? Curious how stud wide receivers have how many stud wide receivers have asthma, and curious how he and the team didn't know until now. I mean, I'm sure he fucking knew before now, and I'm sure the team knew before. Yeah,
I mean, he wanted to make sure he got drafted. Okay, how about this? If they teach you not to say that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if you were,
that's a don't ask, don't tell thing.
Yeah, if it goes like this, hey, do you got asthma? On your record here, it says you have asthma. Then you have to agree, yes. Then if it comes out, oh yeah, he has asthma, boom, second rounder. You know what I mean? Yeah. If that. Like some teams, they go crazy for that shit. Look at how many people passed on Justin Fields because it came out that he had epilepsy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it's just people like, all right, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean, remember what was his name? The linebacker in the draft day. Mac.
Vontae Mack.
Vontae Mack said, listen, if I drop out of the 7, he started breaking down the different pay tiers.
I need that. I need that number 7 draft pick money.
So you guys not tell me you have asthma. That's the agent too. The agent, he's in there yelling at Treylon Burks, slapped the inhaler out of his hand. God, you better not. You know what? Get the shot. Just get the shot.
And seeing am I concerned with him having asthma. No, I mean, maybe in like Denver or something, you know, where he's all the way up, you know, in the crazy elevation. Are we worried about Mark Andrews being a diabetic? You know, like not really anymore. Like,
see, here's the thing. Here's what it is. When it comes to Mark Andrews, when they found out he was diabetic, right? It was only last year. And so like there's like a rule, like you can't have him play more than 75% of the snaps. You know what I mean? Because that's just, you know, that's what the doctors will allow. So that's the one thing you got to keep in mind with Mark Andrews. But another thing you keep in mind, when he's on the field, he's the guy.
Yeah, 100% of the time he is on the field, like he could be getting the ball.
He's just like, he's the guy.
Yep. And so I'm not worried about Burks. I mean, if this makes Burks drop lower in drafts, I like it, because Burks, like for redraft purposes, he might be one of those guys who I'm heavily targeting. I always try to target 1 or 2 rookie wide receivers.
Yeah,
in these redraft
the ones that are in a good spot.
A good spot to boom.
Yeah. And Treylon Burks is one of those guys. Hey, man, you know, I'm not worried about the asthma, because just look at his college tape, bro. You know what I mean?
Killing it. Yeah,
the motherfucker's been playing his whole life. People
Yeah.
don't just get asthma. 9 times out of 10, they didn't have that shit. And It's not like Tennessee. I'm like, listen, I've never been to Tennessee myself personally, so I don't know if it's one of those like in the Midwest. You know, a lot of places in the Midwest, allergies is a motherfucker. Because then your asthma will be acting up, or like you said, high elevation places, Arizona, you know, Denver, you know what I mean, shit like that, where it's like maybe it's an issue, but I'm not tripping.
Well, yeah, and something to think about too, at least from the people that I know who've had asthma, who I like grew up with and stuff. As you get older, it's like your lungs get stronger. You can handle it a little bit better. You know how to handle it as you get older. So will there be times he just runs off the field because, like, you know, he's crazy out of breath?
Hey, I would just have my inhaler fixed to my mask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Anytime you need a quick spray, you know, just get it.
Got him.
All right, here we go. Here's one piece of news that I wanted to talk about because it involves Madden. A lot of people like playing the Madden video game. Now, Marlon Humphreys is pissed at the Madden video game, and it's because of this here. You ready? Look at this play.
New physics-informed animation and animation branching technology. New physics-informed animation and animation branching technology.
He sees this. He sees him getting run over in this little demo, you know, from Madden. And he's like, you better take my fucking picture off of here before I sue your asses. How am I getting blown up? How am I getting blown up?
How are you going to put him just getting ran over?
His arms are all flailing around like the motherfucker can't tackle.
Oh, man. Hey, you know what? I bet you somewhere in the comments, someone probably goes, yo, it was actually Earl Thomas was the one, you know, saying that should be on that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
He got trucked for real.
It's crazy, too, because, and then, what the fuck is his name? Tony Jefferson the second, or Tony Jefferson Jr. I can't remember what he goes by. Also on the Ravens, they show, like, he was like, they got me too, bruh. And it was a picture of Najee fucking leaping over him like he was a hurdle or something. Madden's got something against the Ravens right now.
Damn, bruh. They're like, we put Lamar on the cover, so you know we don't rarely put black QBs on the cover. You know what I mean?
So we got to shit on the rest of the Ravens now.
That's fucked up.
So,
hey, did Russ ever make the Madden cover?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Russ never wins anything big except for the Super Bowl, and it wasn't even because of him.
Right. I mean, yeah, he started because he's never won an MVP. You know, I mean, he's probably been.
He's never even got a vote. I heard.
Because he's always been in the talks, but their whole game has always been predicated off the run and their defense, not off of him slinging it like that.
Hey, you ever heard the story when in the halftime at the Super Bowl against Denver, that what's his name? There was a confrontation because what's that man? He went to Detroit.
I don't like confrontations. I'm a Virgo.
Hold on. He went to Golden Tate. Okay, it was Golden Tate was sleeping with Russ's wife.
Oh,
and I think like Percy Harvin didn't take kindly to like Russ, like, you know, like he was just like, You know what I mean? Because I think he said something to Russ, like, yes, why I fucked your bitch, or something like that. You know what I mean? And then Percy Harvin knocked him out, though.
We got more than 7 digits from your bitch. Quote from your mouth.
Hey, but Percy Harvin knocked him out, though, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, gave him a shiner.
That's my quarterback.
And then he ran one back coming out of the half.
Yeah.
He was hyped, huh?
Hell yeah. And Peacock said Madden already put in a new clip with Chubb fumbling at the end of the play. Ask him, can we be
Hey, man, if Chubb has a fumbling problem, bro, I'm going to be forced to watch these things every year now. Like it's the new Madden curse.
These bastards, man. Like, come on. Like
they wouldn't have Zeke fumbling and he's the fumbler.
I know.
He's the fumbler.
Why is all this stuff just happening like, amongst
the like how they doing that to my Nick Chubb?
Everything that I've been seeing is all clips from the AFC North. Everything. The Ravens, the Steelers, and fucking Nick Chubb and the Browns. That's all I've seen as far as the videos on Madden.
I don't know. You know what? They couldn't afford Jerry, bro. That's what it was.
Yeah,
you want the star in your demos. This is what it's going to cost you.
All right, we got 2 more things to talk about for those who've been sticking with us. First thing is Dalton Schultz. So he's skipping the rest of OTAs because he's frustrated by the lack of progression in these contract talks.
Hold on, you know why he's frustrated? Because he gets the franchise tag and he's so grateful. It's like, hell yeah, I got a bag, guaranteed.
10.9.
Yeah, and he signs that shit so fast.
Right away.
And then David Njoku gets a big ass bag, and Schultz is like, what? That's exactly how it happened.
100%. And Jerry was like, well, we'll just continue.
Well, you know what? What does that jersey say? No, Dalton, read it. What does that jersey say? Schultz. Exactly. It doesn't say Njoku. That's Njoku's bag, not yours.
July 15th is when they when things have to get, settled down by, or is when the new contract has to come. That's the deadline. But the one thing that's crazy that I will say is just the public perception of this, because Kyler Murray doesn't go to OTAs. Oh, he's a diva. Oh, he's just trying to get his money, that he doesn't deserve. What's he even done? This and that. And then it's the same type of people who are like, oh, Dalton Schultz, like, what a great guy. Like, he needs to get his money, fuck the Cowboys. Like, give him his money already. And
it's because he's black, bro.
That's what sucks.
That's why they're on Kyler. They're on Kyler because they're like, oh, ain't nobody would never say that about Kirk Cousins.
Nope.
Matter of fact, Kirk Cousins ain't never had a problem getting a fully guaranteed bag.
The first
and
ever to do it.
People could say, oh, well, look at Deshaun Watson, right? But this is the Browns, who are historically bad and saw
historically horrible,
QBs. And they saw a chance to swoop in and get a generational talent at the position with Deshaun Watson, knowing that he had all this baggage, and also consciously knowing, which is malice now when you know what you're doing, right? With malice, alienate their former first-round pick Baker Mayfield all at once.
And Timmy said,
and now
Baker Mayfield was
got Nick Chubb fumbling in that motherfucker.
Fuckers. And Timmy Raiders for Life said Baker Mayfield was just excused from the camps because he's over there talking shit. Like, I would be talking mad shit if I was Baker Mayfield, even though he doesn't have a foot to stand on.
Hey, you think Baker Mayfield's hella weird? Like he'll be like he'll catch Njoku in the locker room by himself. Hey David, yeah, what's up, Baker? Do you like catching passes from him better than mine?
How's this? Does he throw a better ball than me?
Hey Nick. Yeah, what's up, Baker? Hey, does he hand it off better than me?
Does he hit it right in the spot better
Baker's
than
so
me?
weird. He
Does
would.
he hit it in that spot right here better than I do?
Oh, I feel bad for Baker. I love the rooster.
I mean, this goes back to last year when I said that Baker should have just had the surgery.
Yeah, for real.
Like, why would you try? Like every week, it's like a new limb is getting fucked up. Like every week,
He had all kind of duct tape wrapped around his shit.
it was bad. I mean, you start with the off shoulder, the off throwing shoulder. Then it's the leg, it's like it's his left shoulder and it's like his right leg, and then it's the left leg that gets it, and then the right arm gets fucked up too, and like every limb that he had was getting fucked.
Hey, he was playing like the fucked up hokey pokey. You know what I mean? All the way spun around, just and you know what? If I remember you saying that in the shows last year, and I would always be like, but if he succeeds, he's valiant. You know what I mean? But it's a real thin line between valiant and stupid as fuck, because like then you put bad tape on film. You know what I mean?
And nobody cares that he was playing hurt. Like if he did good, then they would care that he was playing hurt. Like, oh, this guy's a winner. He's scrappy, even with no arms.
He plays through adversity. They would say he plays through adversity.
But you are kind of banged up, so this is what we're offering you.
Mm-hmm.
It would be some shit like that.
And that's the thing too, is because look at you got to read the writing was on the wall. They didn't extend him. They just picked up his 5th-year option, which is fully guaranteed.
Yep.
18 million, like close to 19 million, whatever it is.
Yep.
And instead they give the big bag to Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Hell yeah.
Stefanski's like, we're gonna get far. It's gonna be on the back of the run game. You know what I mean?
Yep. Hell yeah.
And Nick Chubb was a 2nd round, so you know what I mean. It was his time. You know what I mean? But that's funny because then they quickly jumped for Watson, and look at this. They got Watson for $1 million on the cap this year, right?
Yeah.
So that means the Browns organization did know there's something they had to have insurance for.
Yep.
Right? And then they also showed us that he might miss an entire year to me because they signed David Njoku. They gave him a franchise tag. They're like, you know what? We're going to sign you because we need a weapon like you around next year when we finally get Watson.
Yep.
Right?
Has said still waiting on the commercial where Baker changes the locks to the house and then the team can't get in.
That's funny. We need that.
What up, Zeb? He said Baker's that kid that calls in again to work to say I can't come in because my grandma died. And like grandma dies like 10 times over a couple years course.
That takes a real special sociopath.
I was watching 2.5 Men. I went down the 2.5 Men rabbit hole, having it on in the background. And Berta, one of my favorite characters, I know, because she talks so much shit. And she was like, "I love these guys. Like my granddaughter graduated from high school 7 times this year. She can just get off whenever she wants. They don't think about it."
Hey, and you know why she fits so well as her character is because Charlie will never try to sleep with her. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why she's there, because he needs someone to take care of his life, because any other female around him, that's what she's there. She's just like a fuckhole. You know what I mean?
And there's always been like random times where Berta would be talking to someone. She was like, "Yeah, there was a lot of sexual tension between me and Charlie, but I just had to nip that in the bud and say, no, Charlie, it's not happening."
Hey, the neighbor, she was the food.
Which one, Rose?
The one with the jugs and the tiny little voice. She would always come through on the balcony.
Yeah, Rose, the stalker. Right?
Rose, yeah.
It's crazy because all the way until the end, she kept her stalkerish ways going.
Right, she was at the funeral, right?
Yeah, well, and even like after that, like the very last, like it's come out that that her and Charlie like got married and they went to Paris or whatever, and pretty much she like trapped him like Silence of the Lambs, like down a well in her in her basement. Like that's kind of
how he was still alive.
That's what the story said. Yeah, that's what the story, how it turned.
That's awesome.
At the very end.
Because that's just to think, man, network television sitcoms still. And now it was because it was Ashton Kutcher. That wasn't that long ago, huh? That was 2011.
Yeah, that might have been when it started. Maybe a year or two after that. And that shit went on for like 3 or 4 years after that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know around the 2011 era, that was the winning. You know what I mean? They didn't know. Ain't nobody knew he had AIDS yet. He was just like tiger blood. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he went down. He went down the dark dimension.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Hey, he got so tired of these hoes extorting him. I mean, well, he did give him the HIV, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he got so tired, he's like, you know what? I'm going to admit it. Because they kept saying, you better pay me or I'm going to tell everyone you got it.
Yeah.
So you know what? Fuck it. Going on television, going on YouTube, whatever. That's all on YouTube. I was like,
and see, that's what's crazy. And nobody really cares now. Like, I wonder if Deshaun Watson to get ahead of this whole thing. Well, because that's who we're talking about next. Great segue into Deshaun.
Wow. from AIDS, from Charlie Sheen AIDS to Deshaun Watson. Wow.
Which Deshaun Watson is that disease right now that it just keeps going, and I've always felt like it was a witch hunt. And like you hear now that there's numbers, like he saw 66 women in 17 months. I mean, even if he only saw each one of them just one time, I mean, that's still a little over 4 times that he's getting a massage a week, which for NFL and athletes, that's probably normal.
Yeah.
But it's him getting massages from different people all the time in his
that
hotel aren't licensed.
It's really just broads on IG that are probably soliciting himself, quote unquote. You know what I mean? At the same time, he just knows how to. And then he's Deshaun Watson. I wonder if he likes actually, because here's what's the thing. The damning thing is that if he's doing this on social media, where's the paper trail? All these women should be able to have this is hard evidence right here. Because the feds and all that shit.
He didn't meet these people in person. Where's the phone call? Where's the texting going back and forth?
Does it go that deep? Where he has a whole network of Smurfs, where he's paying people to he opened up a door. There's like 20 motherfuckers on phones, just DMing bitches. Hi, I'm Deshaun Watson. I'm Deshaun Watson. Then he's got, we have 3, boss. All right, good.
And Peacock says there are Cash App receipts. I wonder if he's the dumbass that would, put like a little wink on it, or thanks for the ending, or whatever.
I heard there was somebody that said something like that there was a Cash App, a transaction for like $100 or something, or $80 or something like that.
I mean, and I believe it, because like we live in a cashless world like now.
See, here's the thing, man. He's I think he really has an addiction to like pussy for real. You know what I mean? And then it's like, man, do you not have any game, or is this the game he likes to play? You know what I mean? Because then he's a weirdo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's getting his massage anyways. And that's really and. I mean, there's so many different stories about all this. And Ron said it's not illegal to get a hand job. It's not illegal to ask for a hand job. It's illegal to buy a hand job. Like, yeah. And so it's a whole big double-edged sword, because
Ron spoke that with certainty. I believe him on that one. He's like, listen, I know this.
And Peacock said diabolical. Hell yeah. Because the thing is, if you're an unlicensed masseuse, you're probably just a lady of the night, and that's the way that, you get some of these like things to like spark up. And me and Hess, he said it in our text little message, that we had. If you get like in, something bad happens at a drug deal, you can't call the cops. Like, what are you going to say? Like, oh, there's a drug deal gone wrong, and, something happened. Like, you're already guilty as well. The reason there's no paper trail happening is because he probably was, saying, I'll give you money if X and O happens. And like, but if they say that X and O was agreed upon before they go there, I mean, they're kind of just as guilty as him. So it's like this crazy thing where everyone's lying, and it's like,
I got a homie. We'll just call him G for this story, right? My homie G's out in the A. You know what I mean? And he said every time Cam Newton would come into town and play Atlanta. He had these stripper homegirls, and then he would just like have threesomes with bitches on Molly and shit. Like he really knew how to party. And then he would go play the game on Sunday. You never hear no weirdo shit with Cam. You know why? Because Cam got game.
Yeah.
He got swag. Like, I don't get like Watson really. I mean, now that I think about it too, he's kind of wiry. Maybe he was like awkward growing up or something. I'm like, I don't know. I don't understand.
Well,
like,
this speaks to
you see how he dominates on the field. Like you would think some of that confidence would transfer off. I mean, it's like something psychological here. Maybe he likes the aspect of like purchasing the women. I don't know. It's just...
So here we go. So Hess, he said the point is that the women times 24 so far said they said that they said no, and he pulled out little Deshaun and just kept going until the race was over.
Yeah. So hold on, let me translate. He whipped it out, started beating his meat, and just ejaculated a full load on her. And that is that alone right there. If he doesn't get charged with nothing, just the graphic nature of that alone is going to get him suspended for this year. Then the NFL is not going to allow something that graphic and horrific sounding. Like, you know, he got up at full arousal and an eruption of pre-ejaculation.
Man, you made me just think of the
full eruption of the essential ejaculation projectile onto the woman's bosoms, breasts.
Here's what we got to get.
Facial.
You remember the Dave Chappelle stand-up when he's talking about Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton and all that on 60 Minutes? Like, was he aroused? Like, we gotta get some interviews like that going on. So we gotta get some stuff happening like that. I mean, that's where the court of public opinion would go like completely wrong. You know, for
that's what I'm saying. Like,
already going.
Because ain't none of them the other motherfuckers had some type of graphic ass shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what's crazy now is there's probably going to be like, you said there's like 60 something cases. There's probably going to be about 10 more women that come out with, you know what?
Well, there's 24 civil cases, but it came out that there were 66 women that he saw over the last 17 months.
Damn. So they already got it in his IGs and all that probably.
And I mean, there was something. So, you know, we're always seeing different shit on there. And I don't know if this was fake or if it was really on his Twitter, but it was like 10 months ago or something. Deshaun is saying, yeah, it wasn't me. Deny, like on his Twitter, which I don't know.
I remember
that. It was on his Twitter.
No, yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
He took it down. He took it down real quick.
Yeah.
We covered that shit last year when it happened.
Yeah.
Hey, look at. Anybody that knows though, see, this is the thing. Like when you're from the streets or whatever, bro, it's just deny till you die. You don't say anything. That's, you know what I mean? People are just blowing that out of proportion. You know what I mean?
Wasn't
like
me.
That's literally what his lawyer would tell him to do anyway. Don't say anything. Just deny everything. No comment.
Yeah, because it's not Deshaun. I mean, it's not the lawyer to have Deshaun snitch on himself if he's really doing this. It's got to get found out in the courts. Like that. That's what.
And then the lawyer comes out and says some dumbass shit though. Which is funny.
Yeah. What did he say? That it's that getting a happy ending.
Randy Harden, is that his name?
I can't remember his name, but yeah, he sounded like a dumbass.
Horny.
You know, but
oh no, it's Rusty. It's Rusty Harden. I was gonna say his lawyer's name is Horny. Yeah, you know where we're going with that. His lawyer, Randy Harden. Right?
There we go. Rusty Harden is what Peacock says.
Yeah, his name's Randy Harden. That's where we're going with.
Dirty Randy.
Dirty Randy Harden. You know, you know what? In my version, he's the one sending them DMs for Deshaun.
And Life in Sports Talk with Jake. What up, bro? He said his lawyer made the situation worse. Yeah, because he just like put his foot in his mouth like a dumbass.
I mean, it's even though he's okay. I get what the lawyer's saying in the legal standpoint, right?
Because that's all he's talking
the lawyer.
About. Yeah,
he's speaking in terms of the law, right? So when he's saying it's not illegal to such and such and such and such, you know what I'm saying? He's saying that because that's the law. But we're talking about overall player conduct. So no matter what, he's gonna get suspended. Like, it's just simple.
You know why?
Whether there's no charges or not.
You know why none of these girls came out until now?
Because they want the bigger bag.
Well, yeah, they want a bigger bag, but he paid for a massage. You know, like that quote unquote. That's what he paid for, the massage. If he gets the happy ending and gives you a tip because you did a good job, is that really paying for the massage? I mean, is that paying for the happy ending? You know, it's all about the wording and how all this shit plays out because they're getting real technical with like everything right now.
Well, it's the law.
I mean,
it's just like if somebody run up on me, like two dudes run up on me, and you know what I'm saying, I scrap it out, and I pull my strap out and shoot one of them, I can get some self-defense going. If two dudes run up on me, jump me, I go run to the whip, come back with the heat thing and kill them. They can get me for premeditated because I went to go get something. There's a thought process there. You know what I mean? Like there's always these little nuances, and then when you go to different states, it's different. Like you go to like Florida, it's like king of the castle law. If you're on my property, they shoot you dead no matter what. So
yeah.
They probably kill hella people down there like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Life in Sports Talk with Jake asked, is his contract voided if shit's hit the fan? I think there's a lot of things worded in there that if shit goes south and he, you know, ends up.
It's more so voided. I bet you this. Because they said they got like 180 million in escrow. That means like that money is there waiting for him. You know what I mean?
Right. But it can also be taken away if some other
you have guarantees. I don't know if that word guarantee don't like I want to believe that should be guaranteed, but the clause has got to be like if the NFL is like we will not allow him to play anymore. You know what I mean?
It's probably guaranteed if this and this and this don't happen. Like I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah. But I'm saying though, like I feel like the commissioner or the NFL, what powers that be, the Illuminati, whatever, they got to come down and really be like, fucking, nah, he can't play no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every so often they're going, you know what? Sorry, Ray Rice. You punched that bitch right in the face. I know you married her. Hey, she might have been jawing off. You still knocked her out cold on camera. For life, you're out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would suck for you, but I feel like that's the only clause they got. A year and then no one's gonna remember this unless he's one of those. He seems like he's a habitual offender though. He's just gonna keep getting into more trouble. That's where the danger is, because I think at most there's already no criminal charges. This is a suit. He might even just pay this one out and be like, shut the fuck up, boom, go back to business. He's gonna be in mandatory minicamp.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Ain't nothing stopping him. He can go. He can do this unless the commissioner says like a emergency exempt list placement. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, there's a reason why zero, courts would have this, and charge him with criminal cases. Like this isn't a criminal case. This is literally just a court of public opinion, at this point. And it's still going to be on one person to convict him in the civil case. It's still going to be a judge. There is no jury. There is no nothing. And a lot of what happens is going to come down to.
And you know what's crazy? If he get like a woman judge, a white woman judge, he's going to, that's it. It's bad for him. A black woman judge, she'd be like, baby. She's going to be so disappointed. He's going to get got too. Even worse.
It's probably not going to be a woman judge because like if it was, his lawyer would be doing so much to make sure that they got to a different court or like something like that. Like all money could be thrown around to push things back.
Yeah.
Certain dates and, all that kind of shit when you find out the inner workings of who's going to be the judge on certain days, times, all that kind of shit.
Good point.
And Zeb said, dude just wanted a happy ending. Watson, like all other guys, just thinking with his dick. And yeah. And Hess, what did Hess say? He said, we're talking about Watson and we're getting all the spam from these porn companies and stuff. And that just proves that the NFL won't want him to play.
He's driving the algorithm.
And see, you know what it is too? Porno is probably to blame. Deshaun Watson's grown up in an age where you can watch porno on your phone and all that. He's probably watching all these videos, of like guys going in and getting a massage and, just how every time, the guy's just got a big dick. So it just ends in the way that it always ends, in fantasy land.
Hey, I swear there was this clip I saw when all this shit first hit the fan, because now a lot of this shit got taken down immediately, right? But there was a clip of him in college. It's like him and a couple dudes, and they're like, you know, they're hitting each other on the chest on the sideline, and then Deshaun just like doing one of these, right? And they're like, how you feel, Deshaun? He's like, I feel good. I just busted a nut. And he was dumb ass serious. Like, it's like almost like a part of his whole, you know what I mean? His zen. You know what I mean? Because I was just like, that's really weird. And of course, they would probably seek out to take that down, because I only seen that once, and it was on one of those slander videos that someone put together really fast on him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was just like, oh shit, that's some crazy shit to get caught on camera. So I feel good. I just busted a nut. In my mind, I mean, he was in the locker room, bro. Went out real quick, threw the gear on. He was like, let's go play.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And, Life in Sports Talk with Jake said, baffles me that Calvin gets suspended for gambling $1,500 on not his team, but a guy has not gotten anything done to him from the commissioner. It's because it's.
But that's against the law. What he did is a law. That's a law thing.
An NFL law.
That's not alleged. That's not alleged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It was black and white when it came to that. Like, you're either right or you're wrong. If you play in the NFL, you cannot bet on sports. Like, you cannot bet at all, on this kind of shit. So that was a very black and white situation. He's not getting taken by the courts, or anything. There's all these things that are showing that he's not criminally guilty. But now it's coming down to a court of public opinion. And is this guy, how much of a scumbag? Is he really, at this point, it's not trending in the right direction for him. Every day, it just seems to keep getting worse and worse.
Yeah. It's not looking good.
Not looking good at all. And Life in Sports Talk with Jake says, porn really messes with your head. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it's the idle hand is the devil's workshop. The idle hand is the devil's plaything. I think that's the exact.
There it is. Whatever. See that makes it even better with a double entendre. Stop jacking off. Go do something with your life. You know what I mean? Go get some money.
Pornhub is big business, man. Like,
Deshaun got all this money, and like, okay, you know what's funny is I was about to yell out a Bogard joke earlier when you were like, man, 66 women, and then in my head, it's like, man, he's a competitor. You know what I mean? like Deshaun Watson goes hard at everything he does. Like, this is not the thing you want to go hard on, bro. He's like, listen,
he was shooting for 69, but he fell short.
He's like, I'm gonna dominate the fucking the massage tour. You know what I mean? What is wrong with this guy? You know what I mean? It's like, and then it takes me back. He was probably that wiry, nerdy kid, and the bitches weren't fucking with him or something, or the ladies, I should say. Excuse me. You know what I mean? And then so
Mike, he said Deshaun's gonna be like in the Dave Chappelle skit where the guy goes out crazy and pulls out his dick on the bus and starts jerking off and yelling out demands.
Nobody move.
Oh man, it's so wrong, but it's so true. Oh man, didn't you remember some of that? It's like, you over there,
baby.
Squeeze your tits together and
she's like, oh.
And what did Dave Chappelle say? He's like, man, he was like, I had to say something. These dudes are sitting right next to me. It's like, come on, dog, you're hitting my elbow, man. Jeez, come on, son.
Oh shit, he was a homeless dude, right?
Yeah.
Then the homeless dude just started whipping his thing out, started jacking his dick off.
He's like, then this white guy just freaks out. Rush him. He can't come on all of us.
Oh shit, out there, that's throwback.
Man, if you guys
I need to revisit that shit. Which stand-up was that the one in DC?
Yeah, Dave Chappelle.
Was he in DC?
For what it's worth, no, he was in San Francisco.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the first one after the Africa shit.
Yeah,
but he didn't even talk about it one time.
Not one time. Well, he talked about some fallout, like when he's like, man, I went to Disney World with my kids, and he's like, Mickey Mouse came up to me and was like, oh, Rick James, bitch.
Oh my God, Mickey Mouse is Mexican.
Hit him with the uppercut. Bop.
Oh shit. Hey, I have a 6 degree of separation to him. Shout out to my man Mike D's out there. His first cousin is Chappelle's wife. Right?
Oh,
Yeah. Never met her, but I remember her like when we were kids and shit. You know what I mean? But like,
that's tight.
it's because yeah, his wife's Filipino.
Yeah. And Life in Sports Talk with Jake said, isn't that why they make strip clubs? He has a lot of money. I mean,
but you know what though? Here's the thing.
You could go to parts of the country where prostitution is legal, but I think it's the fact of like it being a normal girl, maybe, like it's this normal Pornhub setting, where it's
and we're going with that theory that it's like he's really just that could be his defense in court. Well, my client, he was subject to a life of porn abuse. He just massages. It's society. Society put it into my client's head that you go to these massage parlors and happy ending is part of the process.
We're going to just keep going farther off this rails. That's why we saved it for the end of the show, because some people might not make it over an hour in to listen to all this craziness. But I can't. Oh, it was the Workaholics guys, their podcast that I was listening to randomly. And they're like, man, Pornhub is just ruining society because like you go on Pornhub and it's like everyone's having sex with their stepbrother or their stepsister or their stepdad or their stepdaughter. And he was like, why is this like the main fantasy of society today? And then they go back. It's cruel intentions. That's why it all goes back to that.
I mean, there's cruel intentions, but like, I mean, you could take this all the way back to the Queens. The motherfucking, the time of when we're under British reign. You know what I mean? They like, listen, when you're a royalty back then, they're fucking their cousin or some shit, bruh. That's why the British people they're always depicted in cartoons. They're always depicted to having fucked up teeth because their genomes all spliced together and not spreading out. You know what I mean?
Like Jonah in Wolf of Wall Street.
Exactly.
Gonna fuck my cousin, it's gonna be me. Like fucking crazy motherfucker.
He's like, hey man, I heard like, is that really you really married your cousin?
Like, yeah, she grew up hot.
That's so wrong.
And then it's right after that. Come on, bro, I got a surprise for you.
And they smoke crack for the first time together.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill was not a good influence on.
Hell no. I mean, he was just a greasy greaseball.
Yeah.
But you know what though? He did ride for his man in the end, though.
He was loyal. I mean,
yeah.
You show me a check for $70,000 right now. I call my job and I quit right now, and I come work for you.
Yeah.
It's like I wasn't even offering anybody any jobs.
His little band of misfits came together real nice.
So crazy, man. Yeah, I can't remember everyone's name, but he sold tires and weed.
Yeah.
He sold Quaaludes and weed.
And weed.
And he sold something and weed, but mostly weed. That's all it was. It was just all his connects, from back in the day. All his friends who grew up.
And then fucking Shane from Walking Dead, his character, that was the main Quaalude guy, but he still lived at his mom's crib.
Oh yeah, shout out to Antonio. He met Antonio met Jonah Hill and he said, "Mad cool, sign my boarding pass for me." Yeah, that's super dope.
Nice.
He showed me that picture. Super dope.
Tight. Hey, John, I bet you Jonah Hill. Is Jonah Hill? He's hella short for sure.
How tall is Jonah Hill, Antonio? Yeah, I assume he's Vin Diesel. Height 5'6", 5'7", something like that.
What is Vin Diesel?
Like 5'6", or you mean his race?
So I'm taller than Vin Diesel.
Dude, Vin Diesel is short. Let me see. What do they got?
Listen, I'll beat up Tom Cruise and Vin Diesel. Fuck them.
Yeah, I don't even think. Yeah, they don't even have his height listed on.
How did they make him look? Did it look disproportionate when he was like going up against The Rock in one of the earlier Fast and Furious?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's all the angles, right? It's really just about catching all these perfect angles. Him standing on apple boxes and shit like that, and The Rock's just like, "Hey, buddy," just like elbowing him and shit. Like, man, you wish you were 6'5", what at 200 something.
Yeah. A real action star. I'm an action star in real life.
Yeah. I just came here to play with you. Yeah, and then Zeb said Jonah Hill's a little dwarf. Yeah, Antonio said 5'7". Yeah, makes sense. But a lot of these Hollywood actors, that's why The Rock is who he is. Like, there's not too many 6'5" actors who are a brick shithouse, who have the chops that he has. Like, now he's actually a really good actor. Like with Scorpion King, probably not so much. Yeah.
Hey, it's really hard to play a scorpion, bro.
Hell yeah.
He had to method act, bro. He studied scorpions for like a year, bro.
He went to live amongst the scorpions in the desert.
Real talk. He let like 30 scorpions bite him.
You think that he went and hit up Joe Rogan and was like, Joe, I know that about, coffins with these boxes with scorpions and all types of shit. You think you can re-immerse me in one of those?
That's right, because that was during those times when Joe Rogan was doing the Fear Factor.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was going on forever. And that was crazy. You either had to lay in a bed of snakes or scorpions or maggots or some kind of crazy shit, or you had to eat like bull's balls or some shit like that.
No, like straight up raw pig intestines with the feces in it. I think I just made that last one up.
Maybe, yeah, eating some raw chitlins, some shit like that. And Zeb said Fear Factory, I'd be having you eat some crazy shit. Yeah. Oh yeah, what about that? Eating a cow's dick? I remember that. Like,
is it cooked? Listen, hold on. If I had some dipping sauces and whatever, and it's for $1 million or
you can't pour hot sauce on that shit, or everybody would have been.
How fucking much money was that shit?
Like 50,000.
Okay, because listen, I made cow brains. I think I made everything but a cow dick, bro. You know what I mean? Eat cow brains, cow tongue, cow cheek, fucking rabbis.
Well, there you go. You got to get that on your list then. Got to experience it.
See, here's the thing, though. I'm not jumping for that. See, the 50,000 didn't tantalize it enough. I was like, never mind.
That's not even a year's salary these days, So, I mean, yeah.
I've hit a good one. I've hit 50 big ones on a good one. You know what I mean? Fuck that.
And Life in Sports Talk with Jake. He went from Fast and the Furious to Moana. Like, that's what's crazy, because Disney
range
doesn't fuck with people like that. Like, if you're in some crazy action movie, cussing up a storm, shooting all this type of shit, like, you don't end up in a Disney movie. And obviously his heritage was a big part, because everyone had some kind of island ties who was like a part of the movie.
And then he fucks around and he's about to be the Black Adam now too, and that's gonna be a thing. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we are, and that's what's kind of crazy, because we hear the talks about the, having a black golden eye, things like that, and now we're getting a little bit more crossover.
See, here's the thing. Hold on, I gotta draw a line there, because if a man of the Rock stature comes into a room wearing the suit, I already know he's like a hitman or something. If I already don't know he's the Rock, I'm just saying he's not gonna be no secret agent that no one's not on. Like, they're gonna be like, oh, he entered the building.
That's like Shaq trying to be an undercover sheriff or something. We can't be no goddamn sheriff, Shaq.
License and registration. Man, get the fuck out of here, Shaq.
Yeah, he's like, you ain't getting me out of the car. Can you shoot a free throw? Then I'm not getting out the car then.
Who's that, Cat?
Yeah. He's like, shit. I can talk about Shaq. That's my homie. And he's like, Shaq.
He's like, I'm like Dick Height. He said, when it comes to Shaq, I'm like Dick Height.
Like, how we gonna be standing on the red carpet and shit? Your dick's all on my forehead.
Oh shit.
And Peacock says, hot sauce on anything, I'll do it. And don't say that, bro, because we might have to get some crazy shit for you to eat on live stream, bro.
Hey man, you know what sucks? It's like I for sure know the cow's dick. It looks like a dick, bro.
Yeah, I remember that on Fear Factor, and it didn't look small. Yeah. It looked very, very hung. You got to use two hands.
He's a bull. I mean, they call him a cow, but he's really a bull. You feel
You're
me?
gonna have to use 2 hands to shovel that in your mouth. I mean, unless you're using it with a knife and fork, which I mean, they were never doing that on Fear Factor. That'd probably be even grosser.
When I was doing the bogey show, I'd always do like random shit, right? And like take random pictures and footage in different places and shit. And when I was in New York, you know that they have that I forget where it's at, but it's like a big ass cast iron bull. It's like carpeted. They use it in hella movies. But anyways, and then when you stand behind that shit, you see the bull's balls. It's just so I got this picture where I'm just like pointing at the balls and shit. Because it's just always made me laugh. Like, why put the balls there? You know what I mean?
Like, you remember one of our movies that we always talk about randomly, Cheech and Chong's next movie, and they go into the Laugh Factory, and it's Cheech's cousin Red, who's obviously Cheech.
Ain't that a peach?
Well, no, not that one. But he was like talking about how someone asked this guy, they're on a ranch, like, what time is it?
He said, oh, what time is it?
Yeah, and he was like, I'm just lifting up these bulls' balls, and you see that little clock over there?
he said every time I ask him for the time, I say, hey, wait, man, what time is it? 5 o'clock? And they say you lift up the bulls' balls. It's 5 o'clock.
How do you know the time?
How do you know the time?
Lifting the bulls' balls.
You lifting the bulls' balls. Holy sheep shit. Oh my God, I gotta watch that movie again.
So funny. And Zeb said some people in Africa or some places be eating the cow's dick and monkey brains as a delicacy. Yeah, and I mean shit, you see like which Indiana Jones was that? The Temple of Doom, you know, where they're out there. I mean, I can't even remember exactly where they're at, somewhere in India. And they're serving all the food, and it's all different types of things. And dessert was the monkey brains, and the girl fainted when she saw it because it was like the monkey head, and they take the top off it, and it's like,
snap!
Everyone's eating those monkey brains like it's Jello or something.
Whoa!
Yeah, it was freaky. It was freaky. I remember seeing that as a little kid. Like, damn, what the hell is this? And Peacock said, dip those bull testes in ranch. Man, and
listen, hold on. You know what's crazy is like if everybody knew it was fact that you eat bull's testicles and you get hella stronger, bro, we'd be eating bull's testicles all day.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Motherfucker be hella yoked. Oh, bro, you on a cycle? Yeah, about 3 or 4 bull's testicles a day. You know what I mean? And I'd be slanging them.
I know you haven't really seen the league, but you got to get into it. Taco, who's the stoner in there, the entrepreneur and everything, he's got this secret. It's called 3 penis wine, and it's what gets his juices flowing. He's always on the look for some new 3 penis wine. And Mike said people do crazy shit for money. I remember when bum fights came out. Man, that thing was just fucked up. And I remember when that came out too. Like, I'm 36. Like, that was right in my heyday of being a teenager and shit. And like, the more fucked up thing is they're paying them like $10 here, $10 there, and like these dudes are really
they'll buy them some liquor too.
Well, yeah, but that's not giving them money. Like,
because they're getting them little taco vodka and shit. It's like $2 for like a bottle and shit.
I mean, and that's reality TV, right? Like, I mean, you could go back and any one of these reality shows when they talk about it, you know,
that was like early. I remember seeing that on like early YouTube because it was just on there.
Yeah. How the real world cast and all that, like they wouldn't really feed them, but alcohol was unlimited. Like you're getting alcohol all the fucking time, like it's nothing. And Mike, yeah, man, crazy shit, fucking bum fights. And Live in Sports Talk with Jake said, shit after Uncle Sam, it's 25. Even worse, right? Like you're doing all that for 50,000, you know, and half is about to get jacked. Hollywood, what up, bro? He said, what up, big dogs? You ready for some fantasy football? Hell yeah. And one thing, if you guys don't know, I'm putting together a dynasty league right now. One final dynasty league. There's a couple spots left. $87 buy-in. So if you're looking to get into that, make sure you hit me up ASAP. And the best ball tournament, $22 per team. This is going to be a dope ass tournament. 240 teams are going to be in there. 20 divisions of 12 teams is going to be awesome. $22 buy-in. If you guys have not reserved your spot in a division yet, hit me up right away. If you go to fantasyfootballhustler.com you can find you can get a link to me everywhere. But yeah, hit me up on Instagram, on Twitter, anything like that.
Yeah.
And Zeb said hot sauce ain't making that better. Yeah, damn right. And Life and Sports Talk with Jake said after Uncle Sam gets it, it's only going to be 25K. So, just everyone who wins that 50,000 and doing all that got half of it to tax right away.
Hey.
Oh, my God.
I ain't going to lie. They couldn't pay me enough to eat any of that shit.
No. And Zeb said a buddy of mine ate dog shit for $20. He wasn't even drunk or anything. The stupid shit we do when we're kids. Oh,
damn.
Oh.
Oh.
And,
what a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Then that guy's going to have like all kind of worms and shit. That guy. For $20, he might have cost.
Yeah, have you heard of that guy since you became adults? Does he have a couple screws loose now? Like I'm assuming so.
If his name is John, I bet you he has a nickname like Screws Loose John. Hey man, whatever happened to Screws Loose John? You know what I mean?
And Zeb said people on YouTube doing crazy shit, chugging bottles of alcohol. Yeah, eating some craziness. Yeah, that's for sure.
I remember, back in like 2011. First of all, we're like career Patron drinkers. That's like in my circles. Like we went from like drinking Hennessy and in the streets, and then like going out was like Patron. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just drinking hella Patron. That's how we partied. And like they used to have this thing on it was the Patron challenge. The motherfuckers trying to chug a whole. I was like, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I wouldn't buy any of it anyway, unless I see them pop that seal.
Yeah, I mean, when you're 21, 22, I mean, you may want to do some stupid shit like that, but as you get a little bit older, you realize I got shit to do today and tomorrow. I'm not trying to die either.
I don't know.
Zeb said, I think I'm going to jump on that best ball. Better get in it, bro. It's going to be a dope ass tournament, dude. Like,
yeah, I'm in the Gump joint.
Yeah, that Forrest Gump. And Life and Sports Talk with Jake, would it be smart to go heavy wide receiver at first? In what context we talking about? I know I was talking.
Are you talking about best ball?
Well, I mentioned best ball and dynasty right back to back. So for best ball,
dynasty, yeah, I'd rather go receiver heavy.
Yep,
they last longer.
Yep.
I like to keep my running backs young and my receivers like they play. I want them to play into their prime, ideally. And I'm not scared to get receivers that are in their prime right now, like Adams and or Cup, because those are guys you can even plan. There's so many dynasty startups where I got like a Cup Diggs or like a Adams Cup. I have a Cup Jefferson. You know what I mean? Like, just because people are they go way too early for the young bucks, and then I get to get these. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and really, I mean, that's kind of the way that it goes. If we're talking long term, for season long, everyone goes crazy for these running backs, which. I mean, in single season spurts, like some of these running backs, really do good. But shit, you look at a guy like Cooper Kupp, like he's drafted in the 4th round, last year. He could have been a first round in any redraft league last year, and everyone would have been way more happy than whatever running back they drafted in the 1st round. So you got to hit. But I'm usually going heavier on wide receiver in all of these formats than I am in running back. Or QB if it's super flex. I'll go heavier on QB than that also. Yeah, Antonio said eating the Tide Pods and snorting condoms, like stupid shit. Like, man, why would you want to be famous for being a dumbass? Like, you don't even get that much money from it. Like, and you get used up.
I don't know. We were doing fly shit. We weren't doing.
Shit like that.
I remember I pulled up one time. This is when we were dumbass young, and like some of the homies, they were like hitting the nitrous oxide, and I was like, "You guys are stupid." Motherfuckers getting no money and just hitting nitrous oxide and shit.
Yeah,
I always remember. I just thought it was stupid. It's like,
oh yeah. And Hollywood said 200K, and I'd eat some dog shit. I mean, we start talking about that. That's when people start, that's life-changing money for some people. So you never know what people will do when it comes up to that kind of money.
You got insurance? Because then, what if you start? If you don't got insurance, you end up going to the hospital, get some fucking crazy-ass fucking parasite or some bullshit. See, that's the kind of OCD I got.
Yeah.
I would just start thinking, that money's not for me.
Yeah. And
not that money. I'll get money, just not that one.
Yeah, and Zeb said, I know, I haven't heard from him in a while.
What do motherfuckers used to always say back in the days, right? Oh, Hey, bro, would you suck a dick for $1 million, right? Listen, if we were all broke and all of a sudden you see me rolling in a Rari, and then, like, there's no way they would have not known that, like, oh, hey, you see Bogard, he has a new Rari. Oh, yeah? How do you get that shit? Oh, you suck a dick for $1 million, bro. You know what I mean?
There was a
It's
whole
like,
you remember the whole episode of Workaholics when it was a talk that they had, like, how much, would it cost for you to do that? And
yeah.
it was Darius.
Like,
He's like, we know you're a whore, and now we're just trying to figure out the price, and and it boils down to where Adam was like, I'd probably do it for like $900. Like, first it was like I'd do it for a motorcycle and like all this.
Oh, that's funny as fuck.
It just dwindles down, and that's the whole like sub plot of the story is just their conversation about
that money just ain't for me.
And Zeb said, I like to have a drink and tree, not eat Tide Pods and be fucked up for weeks or fucking die. Like, imagine if some of these kids fucking died from eating the Tide Pods.
Okay, and you know what's fucked up? Like, okay, the motherfuckers is talking at the funeral. Hey, so what happened? Tide Pods, bro. What? Tide Pods. They're all trying to be quiet. You know what I mean? I would be like, what the fuck? I'd immediately blame the parents.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You know what I mean? What is wrong? Listen, when I was a kid, I always wanted to drink Windex because it looked like soda but blue. And then I found the actual blue soda that I could just buy and not try to drink this goddamn Windex. And I never did. But I always just thought it looked good.
And Antonio said, any spots in the league that Bogard is in? Unfortunately, not. The Forrest Gump division filled up. Like,
I'll get in another one. Where's me and Antonio going?
Oh, yeah. I already knew Bogard. That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm sure Bogard's going to be in more than one.
Well, because you always, all right, this like, I just paid off some of the leagues, right? Then Hustle's like, all right, here's on our agenda. How many vampire leagues you want to be in? I'm like, I don't know. So we have 200 spots to fill in the best ball. How many you want? Oh, I don't know. Like, hold on.
Yeah,
let me just let it happen organically.
We're at the best ball tournament, 55% filled, and we still got like 3 weeks ish before the stuff's actually going to start. So last week, because of Stu, shout out to Stu. My mind was in a lot of other places and wasn't really focused.
Rest in peace, brother.
And Stu was going to be in this, and we got two divisions where he didn't pay for him, but he wanted me to make sure that it was two people who would kind of honor him with these teams at least. And let's see here. So the divisions we got Steamin' Willie Beeman. We got Rod Tidwell. We got Becky the Icebox O'Shea. We got Jonathan Moxon. We got Gary Bertier.
Give me Steamin' Willie Beeman. I don't even know why I'm thinking about it.
There we go. Hold on. Trying to get to it.
It sucks because I know I'm gigging to the beat live, but the stream's on a delay.
Well, they're gonna see it on the delay, So
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, we rocking live. You know what I mean?
All right,
in the Matrix.
All right, there we go. And Antonio said, "Put me in that with my birthday twin." All right,
yeah. I'll
send you guys the links after I get up after we get up out of here. Let me see.
Sure.
So that one's almost filled now. So let's see, Bernie Mac's in that one.
Bernie Mac's one of my arch nemesis.
Oh yeah, Derek from Hawaii, Draftaholic, he's in it. Hollywood Cole is in it. Jara is in it. And then we got a couple new people who it's the very first time they're playing in any kind of hustler, league at all.
I will destroy you.
Song, what up, bro? What's going down?
What up, Song?
Yeah, and let's see. Song, are you in the best ball tournament? Can't remember if he is or not. Yeah, Song, we're talking about the best ball tournament. And Antonio and Bogard just got in the Steamin' Willie Beeman division, and there's only one more spot.
Get up in that thing, Song.
As of right now. So yeah, Song, you want to get in it?
Song's the homie.
There's a spot for you.
Bang bang.
And let's see. And Niner MMA 86, what up? He said,
hey, what up?
Hell yeah. I'm late on all these. All right.
Long time MMA.
There we go. All right, I'll put you in it, song. So that fills up the league. Let me know or that division. Anyways, yeah. So let me know if that's what you meant by let's go. That's what I'm assuming you meant. And let's smoke it up.
Yeah, I'll pack one more bowl before we get up out of this thing.
Yeah, one more bowl. Call it a day.
How long we been running? Because I know we started a little late, right?
What hour and 45.
Oh, okay, never mind. We've been rocking.
Yep. We had all this Deshaun Watson talking all that, and we went off the rails. That's why we had to save it for the end. If we would have done that at the beginning, we would have never got back on the rails.
Hey, we tore Deshaun Watson up. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of defending him for the.
It's hard to defend him, man. It's hard. You know, I've been defending him for a long time, but like, I just think it is what it is. He knows what it is. It's really on him. Can he stop doing this?
Yeah, well, and I think, I guess it's okay. So it's the court of public opinion, and I don't like the motherfuckers who are just he's such a horrible human being. He never should be allowed to play in the NFL again.
No, he's not going to play this year. He's going to come back next year, and no one's going to give a fuck.
But there's people
as long as he doesn't continue this shit. You know what I mean?
We've had players beat the shit out of their wife, but it wasn't on video, and they're able to still play in the NFL. You know, it's always when shit happened on video. Ray Rice, perfect example, which that's never going to get out of anybody's head. Deshaun Watson shit isn't on video. Nobody knows exactly what happened. At 100% of all this is hearsay. So that's all I'm saying. I know that people like to give people the guilty, in the court of public opinion. I'm going to hold back just a little bit, but like I said, do we know if he's a scumbag or not? It's trending in the wrong direction. That is for damn sure.
See, if he was really one of them Pornhub addicts, if he had filmed all these encounters on film and could prove like X amount of them were consensual, or like, you know what I mean? Or, he's paying, or if he was paying the bitches to do stuff on camera, like that's his evidence.
Nothing was on camera because
see, but that's the thing though. But if he was a freak like that, like he was a real Pornhub addict, that like we were joking that he was earlier, you know what I mean? That motherfucker, that would have saved him if he had all that footage. You know what I mean? This would save Johnny Depp. The woman was trying to lie on him, but he had all this footage and video recordings and shit, or audio recordings. You know what I mean? And just hella evidence. You know what I mean? There's none of these broads got evidence. That's the thing. You know what I mean? That's why there's no criminal charges. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's text messages going back and forth. Boom, he's automatically guilty.
I'm saying any kind of money transaction
in a criminal case,
anything.
In a criminal case, he would be automatically guilty. So that's why it's all hearsay. It's all he said, she said, and none of these. I'm not saying they're not viable witnesses, but there's a reason why no court would take on these cases. A lot of this shit could be lies.
Is he a true scummy where he's like, no one will believe you? Ha ha ha! I'm Deshaun Watson. The court's gonna look at me like it's just another gold digger trying to get a young athlete trying to better himself in life. And if he's diabolical like that, using that as a shield, he's a piece of shit. And there's a special place in hell for a motherfucker like that. But he also could this is how he gets his fuck on. And then like it's just been a winning method for him. And now all the hoes started coming out and trying to get him for a bag one by one, because that could be a real thing. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. If this is a woman that's being coerced for anything paid, whether it's a service for a massage and not being licensed or whatever, you're selling your ass. This is an Instagram thought. This is a real career that these young. It's unfortunate for a lot of these young ratchets. They do this shit. You know what I mean? And like, because 24 of them or 23 of them so far couldn't get into a court because they're all clearly just trying to get a bag out of him. This one's hella graphic, you know what I mean? And then like, you know what I mean? And that's what sucks, because according to the ratio, there might be a few more like this level fucking you know what I mean, graphic, because that's
because
really the script.
We only have 24 out of the 66 supposed women that he saw over the 17 months.
Yeah.
And Niner, he said, whoa, did he film them? And no, he didn't. That's our kind of
I said that would have helped him, because if it was just like he was paying broads to sleep with him, and then if he was filming it for his own little archive, he would have on camera that it was consensual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because these broads, some of it's like sexual misconduct. That's like a thin line between like sexual assault. You know what I mean? Like, right. You know what I'm saying? So if some of these women, some of the women were saying like some of it was consensual, some of that, like that's where you get to this gray area and lawyers will destroy you. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate for women, but it's also like, I mean, sometimes there's Amber Heards out there too. You know what I mean?
If you're doing something illegal for money, and which, I mean, if you're doing things without a license, like technically that's illegal, you know, I mean, morally or not, you know, it is what it is. And that, we said it earlier, it's like a drug deal gone bad. Like, you know, whether you're on either side of this drug deal gone bad, you can't really call the cops because you're doing something illegal anyways. And maybe that's why it took so long for all this to come out. But I always thought that it was a witch hunt, you know, from the get-go. But the more and more women that come out, I mean, it does not look good for Deshaun Watson. That is for damn sure.
Yeah.
And Peacock said, suspect as fuck individual. Looks like there are two sides to him, though. And I mean, with social media, there's literally two sides to 100% of human beings in the world. Because nobody shows the real shit on social media. Everybody is fucking fake on social media. That's why a bunch of people hate on me personally on social media, because I'm not fucking fake, you know? And guys like Tiger Woods, they showed you could look squeaky clean, but you may be doing a lot of shit behind the scenes.
Watch out for these scummies.
They're out there. Hollywood said, I don't get why he would do that if he's rich. I know exactly. Professional athlete, you would think he would have a bunch of women.
I don't know.
Knocking on his door.
Here's the thing. When motherfuckers go from having nothing to getting rich, there's a misconception too that they can get it. He might even have a misconception like, listen, I can get away with anything. I got the money now. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I gotta get a massage anyways. Like, why don't I just do it this way?
Yeah. Like, boom, boom. I have my lawyer will get that for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if he's a real scummy like that, you know what I mean? Because the other ones, this is the thing.
Yeah, Niner said it's a power thing for sure. Like, if that's something that, I mean, you know, we've all seen movies like Sin City and shit like that, you know, where guys get off on weird ass shit, and if they don't get what they need, sometimes they're, you know, they can't get it up to par. And maybe that is some shit like Watson. Maybe he has been watching Pornhub for that long that like he needs
to fucking. He's so desensitized to sex now that he has to have these elaborate fucking scenarios play out.
And who knows? Like, I mean, we've all heard about weirder shit than this, I'm sure. So
see, now I need to see some transcripts of like his IG DMs and all that shit. If they're out there, they gotta show up, because it'd be like, listen, I'm gonna come by between the hours of 4 and 6 because today I'm the cable guy. Winking emoji. You know what I mean?
He's a weirdo. I think it took so long to come out because like they had to be thinking like, how long would he actually keep our text messages on his phone? You know, like how long would the paper?
I mean, real skeezers that have intent, they're looking for shit like that.
Yeah, Niner MMA said the massage category is his favorite. Like, yeah, like I mean, it's got to be that. We're obviously speculating, but we're trying to get into the side of the head of you know, some weirdo has
John Travolta was a weirdo.
Yeah,
John Travolta was one of those motherfuckers where like he always requested a man masseuse, like a male masseuse. You know what I mean? And you know that's a motherfucker everywhere he went, everywhere he traveled. If you stayed at a hotel, he's gonna order the massage. You know what I mean? Yeah. All the time, always request for a man. And apparently he might have exposed himself a few times. But see, he's John Travolta, Scientologist king. Ain't nobody fucking with him. You know what I mean?
Right. And Hollywood said, LOL, maybe he tried to smash the pizza lady too, like a Pornhub scene.
she was really just there to deliver the pizza. He was like, he's so disconnected from actual life. He orders the pizza thinking like, yeah, all right, when it's a female.
So what? I bet he called up Domino's or whatever, and he asked for certain toppings.
I need a female deliverer.
He asked for certain toppings because that's the code, right? And it's like a pineapple anchovy pizza, and that's supposed to be code for you getting your dick sucked or something. And so he orders this pineapple anchovy pizza, something so off the wall. And then he's a little bit shocked when she doesn't try to give it up.
He opens the door, he's like, you don't want your tip? He probably would say some corny ass shit like that. Hey, look, here's the thing. It's sad, man. He has no game. Like I said, Cam Newton has swag. You never heard stories like that with Cam. You always heard stories with Cam with mad ladies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so weird. Watson, that's weird.
I mean, there's a difference in age. That's for sure.
It's true.
Maybe those couple years. I'm telling you, those couple years was when Pornhub was just readily available to
7 years. They have like a 7-year difference.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull up this this doc that I have that me and Ricky Williams are working on with all the top
oh yeah, let's go
players.
See. Oh, he's a Virgo.
No, Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, him and Mahomes got this birthday in like the same week.
Yep. And let me see. Where's Cam on here? Cam's a Taurus.
Oh, okay. He's stubborn than a motherfucker.
Yeah, so Watson's birthday is September 14th, 1995. And let's see, where's Cam? May 11th, 1989. See, that's a big gap. That's 6 years right there. That's a real big gap as far as like growing up in the internet.
Up in the 90s, for real.
When Deshaun Watson grew up, like, as a teen, like getting into like, teenage years, he had a smartphone already. Like he was like 10 and had a smartphone probably.
Yeah.
Watching.
When was he born? 95?
95.
Okay.
I mean, really, it was like, if you were on
by the time he's like 8, 9 years old, if he's watching football too, he's probably like Michael Vick and all them motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that was probably the football he grew up on.
Man, fucking Watson. And let's see, where the hell was
Hey, remember what they said about what he said about Virgos? Virgos are always going to be successful. They just need the structure put in place for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Perfect.
But he said that's why Mahomes is so good too, though, because like he can go off schedule. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, craziness. Why don't we wrap up this crazy show? When's the Playmakers happening this week? Has that been decided yet?
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. I forgot, man, because I've just been hella busy and shit. Like, even though it's as simple as a text, I'm about to throw it together right now. I've just got to decide what we're going to do. Like, the final concert is, I know Peacock, he'll be like, bam, he'll whip that thing up real fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Peacock, too.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, let's get the hell up out of here. Thanks for joining in. If you guys didn't watch the silver screen breakdown on Blood In, Blood Out, make sure you check that out. Yeah, because it is up and live on the podcast, on the Silver Screen Breakdown YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel as well. But go check that out on the Silver Screen Breakdown channel. We need to get more subs over there, more watch time. So help us out, and then go to ssbpod.com and go subscribe to the podcast. We don't know what movie we're doing next. We kind of talked about it a little bit, so I don't want to mention anything. But yeah, we're gonna get into some more cool movies here real soon.
Yeah,
we're out. Peace.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to wait. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
Everyone in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side.